Hello, welcome to Spy Money. I'm going to show you our new amazing indicator that I have been working on for quite a while now. And I finally got the code the way I wanted it, and it's working really well. Spy Money MOMO. And don't let the name fool you, but it is an awesome indicator. It works very well. So let's go ahead and go into it and check it out and see how it works. So right now we're looking at an ES, a 1 minute time frame. And I already have the MOMO indicator on there. And the way it works is we have red for short and we have green for longs. But we also have exits on here. So we have, like on this one, if we would have went in right there, so the signal would have been in the middle of this. It's not necessarily right here to close, it's in the middle. So as soon as we get the signal, it'll alert us. And it's usually about midways of that bar is usually about where it is. And if you went to all the way to the top, and we know that you would not have gotten the top, but it's 437.50 would be the profit. And no one would ever get that. But if you follow the signal of the exit, it's about midways of the bar. This yellow or orange dot will be what your exit would be. So it's 275. So until you see that, you don't necessarily need to go ahead and exit, but you can. If you hit your profit targets, you could hit this as a scalper. So let's just say you got in here and right there is $175. So it depends on what your target is. Maybe you're looking to get 3 or 4 points on every one of them. You know, if you got 3 points, that's $150 on ES. 4 points is going to be 200. So 200 would put you right here. So you would have had to weather out all that chop and then got in here. But you notice there's no orange dots through here. And with not having any orange dots, that makes it actually better. So that allows you to stay in the trade much longer. So it really kind of depends on how you want to trade. If you want to trade, it's a scalper, then you could use this and just take so many points on every move. And then if you're going to use it as a longer trend trade, you can do that as well. So this is just one example, and you can see it does have a losing trade every now and then, but in this one right here, it's about midways. So you would be about right here, and it's showing that say about midways would be there, so there's $75. So there's a 1.5 that you would lose there if you would follow the entry and the exit. Now we have a couple of different exits and we have a couple of different entries. And I'm going to show you both. So if we go into the indicator, and what I'm going to show you is, actually I've already got it on there. We have two different signals. We have a signal 1 and a signal 2. Those are the only signals that we have with this. And we've got a 20 and a 50 is the numbers on it. And this is proprietary. I will not disclose what these numbers are, but there's the two different ones. These are the only ones you want to use. You don't want to change it. Then we have an entry. We have a fast and a slow. If we pick the slow, you'll notice over here, you'll see some of these disappear. So if I hit that, you'll see that, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 green and 1 red. And then we go into fast. We've got more signals. So if you have it on fast, you're going to have more signals. And I think if you're a scalper, you're probably better off to use the fast. If you use the fast and you're going in for so many points, that would probably be good. So let's leave this on the fast, and that's what we had on originally. So if you're going for, and again, it's usually about the middle of the bar, and there's 262.50, so that would get you over 5 points. And then this one right here would be about here. You would have a losing trade right here. It would actually take you out about right here. I personally don't want to hold a contract more than 5 points. So my stop would be 5 points on the initial. That's what I use my ATM. So if you do the 5 point stop and then you just go for the longer ones. Now if you're scalping, you're not going to use a 5 point stop. You're going to use something a little bit tighter. You're going to kind of watch your candles and see what you want to do. So it depends on how you're going to trade. You would have this losing trade right here, and you'd have a losing trade right here. It's not going to win every trade, but when you do win, it's going to be big moves. For instance, today on this one, it's about midways, and the max you could have got would be 462. So now these are numbers that if you were perfect in your trading, which we are not, but that's the max that you can get, and it's actually one tick less than that because it has to go through one tick. But just to give you an idea of how far these moves are. Now, if you were taken from about mid and about mid here, there's 350 if you would have followed the exit strategy. So let's talk about the exit. We've talked about the entry. You've got a slow and a fast. The fast is going to be mainly for someone that's a little more risky, willing to go in a little bit early on the trade and get in. You can probably do better. So if we do the other one, which we've got a slow. Now, if you watch all of these bars, let's see if I can get that over. Yeah, we've got all these bars through here. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this to the slow. And you'll see that they are more better trades, I guess you'd say. They're better, less risk, I guess you would say. When you go into the fast, you're going into more aggressive. So let's go ahead and move this back again. And when you look at it, you'll see that they're more aggressive. So if you're going to go into the more aggressive, I would be probably looking more for a scalping type trade instead of a longer trend. The longer trend is going to the slow. So in this, we have two different exits. So I'm going to take off this exit. And we've got one exit. The first one is going to be an exit that's going to take a little longer to exit. So now we had one here, and then it moved over here. So if I add that one again, the second one, watch right here. Okay, so we've got a different entry as well when we do that. The entry is going to change depending on where your exit's going to be previous. And that's why I ended up putting a different new entry. If you are in a trade, it's not going to show any kind of new signal coming down until we get the exit. You have to have an exit before you have a new entry. So if we take that one out, and right now, this is where the exit would be for entry 1. Now, if we have this on entry or exit 2, bring it over so you can see, if we have this on exit 2, it's going to change just a little bit. There we go. So we've got our exit here, and then that's going to put us in another entry here. Our exit 2 is going to be a faster exit. So with a faster exit, as soon as it shows the exit, it will show the next entry. So what I have been doing is I have been just turning both of them on and using it that way. And that way I can see what's going on with it. But if you have the exit 1 usually won't appear until exit 2. Exit 2 will usually be in line first, but you can run both if you want. So if you run both of them, it'll just change it a little bit, maybe get you a little more signals. I think if you're going to run on a scalper, I'd run fast and I'd run exit 2. Exit 2 will exit you out of the trade quicker. So that will get you into another trade to do another scalp. We also have sound alerts. So if you turn this on, you'll have a whatever wave file that you choose, and you can upload your own wave files and put them in. But you can have one for the long, one for the short, and one for the exit. This exit is just going to depend on whichever exit you choose up here. You can put it on each tick, which is what I recommend using. And you can have on bar close, on price change, whichever one you want. All of this down here doesn't really matter, but you can come down to plots and you can change how big you want these arrows. So if you want that one to be a lot bigger, you could put 8, and you'll notice they're a lot bigger now. So you see the little red one, the big green one. So I personally think the 8 is pretty good. It lets you see it a little better. Plus, you've got these background lines to let you know where that signal was, so you're not going to have to sit there and look for it. These, I do not have it to where you can turn them on or off. I may change that later, but for now, that's where they are. And it actually works really well. So we have our entry and we have our exits, and that's the way this indicator works. Now, how can you utilize this? Can you use it on ES or you know, NQ or whichever? So I'm just going to flip through some different ones and let you see. If you do, and you can run on different time frames. I found that the 1 minute and 2 minutes seem to work the best. UB, there's some UB players in our group that like UB. So let's just turn it over on that. So that is actually an expired contract. So let's do this. UB. You can tell I don't trade UB much, but this is UB today, and it would get you in those signals as well. I found that UB is a little bit more difficult to trade due to there's not a lot of volume in it, but you can see these trades right here, it actually did work out. You may want to go to, you can go to like a tick. You look at that, you can see that the ticks, you've got some good moves right there. There's a lot of good moves actually. So you can trade on UB. GC, so let's look at GC and we'll look at 1 minute. And I must have the old one on there. I do not trade gold. There we go. There's the new one. So gold, it will actually work with it as well. You might have to play around with the settings a little bit to see what's going to work better, if it's going to be tick or whichever. But gold works good. You also have NQ. It'll work good on NQ. You see there, it's got some good moves in here. When you get into the chop, there's a little bit of chop, but you can still pick up some moves in there. You're not going to be able to get the long runs with it, but you're going to be able to get, you know, probably 5 to 10 points or so that you can pick up and use it as a scalper. So let's go over to YM. There was a person trading YM today, and they said that it run really smooth and was running a lot better than ES and NQ. As you can see, YM was a lot better trading. And what it does on these old pullbacks and stuff, it lets you get in to know where that you need to be, if it should be in. Come back over in here. This one's YM. Those are old signals, I think. Let's see, did I draw those out? So they're not accurate to this one, but you can see those numbers are actually pretty good numbers that you could pick up some, you know, decent money with. And let's see, if we go into, what else we got? CL. Let's look at CL. I hardly ever trade CL. Let it get loaded. So CL, afternoon was all chop. You can see back in here, it actually got you some decent little signals. When you go in the chop, as with anything, you don't want to trade chop. All this through here, you can see that it's going down. You'd be better off just take shorts as it goes. But CL is a little bit volatile. I guess right here is really the best time to trade it from 8:20 on. In today's time, it went in at 8:06. Just to give you an idea, it's about midways, and the most you could have got off of that one is 22.90, one trade. So you could have had this in, went in 5 contracts or so, and hit your goal for whatever you want to do. To give you an idea of what these would do, you have one here about midways, and this one you'd be there, depends on where your stop is. And right there, you're looking down here. So you get the idea. I mean, there's a lot of money that you can trade off of that, and it tells you where you should be getting in. A lot of times when you're messing with an indicator, you don't really know where to get in, and you don't know where to get out. So like on this one, it said to get it out right here. There's 710. This one said to get out right here. It's 1800. So most people don't know where to get out. This thing, MOMO, tells you when to get out. It gives you the signal for it, depending on what you want to do. So let's go into RTY. I have not even looked at RTY on this, so this will be a new one for me. Let's see here. This is toward the end of the day. We go in here. I had some decent little signals in here. There was a lot of chop right through here. Through the chop, depends on what your stop would be. We're long bias today, so RTY was actually kind of slow today, it looks like. And if you went into the morning session, afternoon was not very good at all. Go into the morning session, and it was actually a lot better. But it works good on all instruments. It depends on what you're going to trade. If you should trade a minute or a tick, it will work on either one. It doesn't matter. And once you find what works best for you, maybe you already trade it and have already dialed in a certain time frame that works best. You can throw the MOMO on it and see how it would work for you. MOMO is a lease indicator. So whenever you're leasing it, if you're at the end of the month, at the end of 30 days, you can either cancel or continue. I'm sure that you will continue. You're going to be able to pay for the lease really quick. So having questions, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you and kind of go over it. When we go into, once you lease it, in the tutorial showing you a little more detail about how to use it, what kind of stops work best, what time frames, and also just different settings that I think will work better. So let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to working with you. Have a great day.